Hello and welcome back to F1 Weekly. My name is Ben Wevel and I'm here to tell you all of the biggest stories in F1 this week. If you enjoy my content, then feel free to like, subscribe, follow or review, depending on what streaming platform you're listening to me on. Now, let's get into episode 9. First of all, is some news from one of my favourite drivers on the grid at the moment, Charles Leclerc. He has unfortunately been added to the long list of F1 drivers who have caught the dreaded Rona. These include Lewis Hamilton, Lance Stroll, Lando Norris, and now of course, Charles. He was able to make it back to his home in Monaco after the final race, where his COVID test came back positive a few days ago. Thankfully, he is only experiencing mild symptoms of the pandemic, but he is to stay inside for the 2-week quarantine period. We all hope that he is doing well, that he is stable, and that this will not affect his performance on the racetrack. Get well soon, Charles. There is quite a bit of news from the Aston Martin camp this week, so I shall compile it all into this section of the podcast. A few episodes ago, I talked about the testing day privileges of certain teams, Aston Martin being one that does not have the resources to run more than one car. On top of this, they have now halved the 3-day testing period down to only 1.5 days for Sebastian Vettel to get used to his new car. However, the 4-time world champion is still confident, commenting, "Over the years, I think you get used to the little track time and making the most of that track time. So even if 1.5 days doesn't sound like a lot, you can still get some decent running." Despite putting him as my most improved driver of the year in my 2021 predictions episode, I'm not as confident as the German is, with his form having deteriorated over the past few years, and his ability seeming to have depleted somewhat. Less than 2 days of testing may affect his season very badly. Next is some news from the other side of the garage with Lance Stroll. This week, Otmar Safnauer, team principal at Aston Martin, talked about how Stroll would vastly benefit from the addition of Vettel to the squad. However, I believe that this growth will be more prominent in Lando Norris at McLaren after Daniel Ricciardo's appearance on the side next year. Furthermore, I believe that Lance Stroll will once again be the big flop of the season, so I'm even less sure of his improvement. Listen to episode 5 of the podcast for my reasoning, by the way, if you haven't already. Safnauer also believes that more victories are on the horizon, but with 2 currently out-of-form drivers, and Red Bull and Mercedes seeming to run away with the competition every single year, I cannot see how this hope will be fulfilled anytime soon. And for our final piece of Aston Martin-centric news, is that of the projected opening date of a new factory for the squad, set to be opened in August 2022. Due to the pandemic, father of Lance and chairman at Aston Martin, Lawrence Stroll, decided to push back the opening day a year from August of this year. Since 2018, the year of his arrival in the sport, Lawrence has been planning to open a new facility, and with this goal finally in sight, he said, "We are making progress. We're in the design phase now, and all the departments are getting their input to make sure that it's the most efficient it can be, and it's online and on target to be opened and launched in August of 2022. He plans to build this factory on the same site of the original one, and despite obvious delays, the design should remain the same as it was initially intended. Thank you for listening to episode 9 of F1 Weekly. Make sure to DM me your ideas for next episode at F1Weekly_ on Instagram. And remember, there are no capital letters in the username. And I'll see you next time for more F1 news.